I think from my point of view, being here is all about emphasising mental health in the workplace, obviously, and from the Heads Together campaign that my brother and my wife did last year, a number of issues came to light about the state of the country's mental health. And I think if we're going to really tackle mental health as a big topical subject in the country, then workplace is a key part of that jigsaw. We discovered that only 2% of individuals felt they could speak to their HR department about mental health. Now, many people might say, well, you know, I understand that. I wouldn't speak to my HR department about mental health, but there is a big problem there if so few people want to talk to effectively a body of people who are there designed to facilitate stress and problems and issues at work.
Deal with or flag the outcomes of poor mental health. They don't look at the causes and address those.
I think I was very lucky that I worked with two organisations, one with the RAF and one with the East Anglian Air Ambulance, that they were both organisations that took mental health very seriously, and they understood long before actually we have these conferences now that in order for their workforce and their people to continue doing a good job, they have to look after not just the body but the mind. And yes, you know, many people here might think, well, you know, first responders or those in emergency services, of course they're going to need extra, you know, mental health training and stuff like that. But it's more than that. It's the fact that you feel it's okay to speak about it. It's natural. It's part of what you do. And I think it's very important that it's not just you know, the blue light community or those in unique high-pressured environments. I think we can all relate to and need to build that supportive understanding to speak about mental health.
But getting out of the seat, going for a walk, taking the dog for a walk, just getting some blood flowing, some fresh air. But the biggest thing for me is about talking.
Yeah, totally. From the search and rescue and the air ambulance side of things, from what they both said, it's bang on. It's about this having the shield, and the shield can be penetrated occasionally. And I never thought I'd get to a point or situation where it would get too much for me. I always thought I was on top of these things and I could manage it all. And like I said, we had a very good culture, particularly in the air ambulance, where obviously working with some seriously amazing medical doctors, that talking was really important. But even that wasn't quite enough for one particular instance for me. I worked several times on very traumatic jobs involving children. And after I had my own children, I think the relation between the job and the personal life was what really took me over the edge. And I started feeling things that I've never felt before, and I got very sad and very down about sort of this particular family. And I think you start to take away bits of the job, and you take them home and you keep them in your body. And of course, you don't want to share them with your loved ones because you just don't want to bring that sort of stuff home. So the only place you can talk about it is at work. And if you don't have necessarily the right tools or the right environment at work, then you can see why things snowball and get quite bad.
As a junior doctor, you must have seen some very disturbing things. How did you cope with that in the early days?
I think I had to. I started to realise that I had to sort of self-analyse a little bit, and I realised that I was seeing a lot of death and a lot of injury, very traumatic injury, and families being destroyed every single day I was at work. And I think you start to, without realising it, you start to think that life is like that and that it's happening around the world the whole time, which of course in some places it is, but the negativity creeps up on you so much that you've got to sort of distance yourself a little bit from the job and go, okay, this happens in this, because I work in this environment, but the whole world isn't all doom and gloom and it isn't all really sad. And I think that was a big realisation for me, that I had to kind of disconnect a little bit from my job and kind of realise that I'm naturally going to see this here, but it's not all like that around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen.